Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at something that might surprise you a bit. The really intricate, kind of evolving world of online exam cheating. You might think it's simple, just a quick Google search maybe.
Yeah, easy peasy.
But the truth about how students are, well, trying to gain an unfair advantage and how they're actually being caught, it's way more involved.
It really is. And this isn't just some, academic thought experiment.
Right.
If you're a student facing these online tests, or maybe an educator trying to keep things fair.
Or even just curious.
Exactly. We're just curious about how tech is changing evaluation. Understanding this whole landscape is pretty key.
Totally. And to get a real handle on it, we've been digging into a May 2024 article.
Right.
It details these, surprising methods students use to cheat, and also the increasingly sophisticated ways they're getting detected.
So our goal here for this deep dive is really to pull out the most illuminating insights from that piece.
Yeah, what really stood out.
We want to give you a clear picture of this dynamic, the strategies cheaters use and the countermeasures being developed to, keep online exams legitimate.
Okay, let's get into it then. The article starts off by reminding us that academic dishonesty, it's not exactly new, is it?
Not at all. Way back, 2007, there was this study.
I saw that.
Yeah, over 60% of college students admitted to cheating. And get this.
What?
95% of those students said they weren't caught.
95%. Wow. Makes you wonder what was going on back then.
Well, and what's interesting about that 2007 number is it just highlights, even before everything went digital, keeping academic integrity was a big challenge. Detection was different, obviously. More about watching people honor codes.
Right, old school.
Then fast forward, the article mentions that Harvard cheating scandal in 2012.
Oh yeah, the take-home exam one.
Exactly. Over 100 students collaborating. It just shows even prestigious places aren't immune,
Absolutely. And then, bam, 2020 happens.
The big shift.
Everything moves online so fast. And the article points out this perception kind of grew that, online cheating, that'll be easy.
Yeah, it was an open invitation almost, and that really intensified the whole issue.
So when we talk about cheating, how does the article define it?
Well, it gives a pretty clear definition. Actual intended or attempted deception and or dishonesty in relation to academic or employment-related assessments.
Okay, so it's broad, intentional deception.
Right. It frames it not just as, trying to get a better grade, but as something that really undermines the whole point, the fairness of the assessment itself.
Makes sense. And when it comes to actually tackling this, the article talks about two main approaches.
Yeah, basically deterrence and detection.
Prevention and cure, sort of.
Exactly. It even uses that saying, a pound of prevention is worth an ounce of cure, which fits perfectly here.
It really does.
So, okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What are students actually doing online, and how are schools responding?
Right, the methods. First up, the article mentions impersonation, using a proxy tester.
Getting someone else to take it for you.
Yeah, exactly. How does that work online?
Well, the article says it can be as simple as just sharing your login details beforehand.
Okay, pretty low tech.
But then it gets fancier, using remote access tools. Like someone else is driving your computer during the test.
Whoa, like a digital puppet master?
Kind of. A digital switcheroo, as you said.
So how do you even stop that?
Well, the counter-tech is fascinating. The article mentions biometrics.
Like facial recognition?
Yep, facial recognition to make sure it's you. AI is also used, looking for weird audio cues or even subtle body language shifts that suggest someone else is there.
AI watching your body language.
Apparently. And then there's software like BioSig ID. It analyzes your unique typing rhythm.
Your typing rhythm.
Yeah, how fast you type, how hard you press keys. It creates this digital signature that's supposedly really hard for someone else to copy.
Wow, that's getting really specific. Okay, next, the article mentions the old school. My first thought is notes on your hand.
Exactly. Stuff like hidden notes, cheat sheets, even trying to use sign language on camera.
Seriously? Sign language?
Seems kind of bold, but the article says students still try it, especially if there's a proctor watching.
So the proctoring itself is the main defense there.
Pretty much. But how do you spot that subtle stuff through just a webcam?
Good question.
Well, the article explains the AI and the proctoring software can actually be pretty good at flagging things.
Like looking down too much.
Yeah, sudden glances away, weird hand movements. And for really important exams, the article says real human proctors are still valuable.
Someone actually watching in real time.
Acts as both a deterrent someone's watching, and a way to catch things AI might miss. Help stop people stealing the test content, too.
Okay, makes sense. Now we're getting into the fancier stuff. Advanced tech gadgets and software. This sounds like spy movie territory.
It kind of does. The article lists a whole range of tech tricks.
Like what?
Think smartwatches for quick lookups, hidden mics to talk to someone outside,
Wow.
even using web-based apps like WhatsApp on a hidden phone maybe to get answers fed to you.
That's sneaky.
And it goes further. Projectors displaying answers off camera, secondary cameras pointed at notes, screen mirroring so someone else sees the test live.
Okay, that's a serious arsenal of tech. So how are schools even keeping up with that level of ingenuity?
This is where tools like lockdown browsers become really crucial.
Ah, right. Those stop you opening other websites.
Exactly. Can't just Google stuff or open WhatsApp. AI flagging is still huge here, looking for odd behavior.
And the proctoring itself.
Yeah, comprehensive audio and video proctoring, sometimes needing multiple cameras or doing a full 360-degree room scan before you start.
A ruse scan, like show us your whole desk area.
Yep. And again, sometimes human proctors add that extra layer of security.
Okay. The next area the article talks about is brain dumps. Sharing test content. Feels like an old problem, just amplified online.
Totally. It's basically students grabbing exam questions, screenshots, maybe recording their screen, or just memorizing stuff.
And passing it on to friends who haven't taken it yet.
Exactly. The article calls it the charity of academic infidelity, which is a interesting phrase.
Charity. Right. So how do you stop that information leak?
Again, lockdown browsers help a lot by blocking screenshots and screen recording functions.
Makes sense.
Proctoring software can also flag if you suddenly pull out your phone mid-exam.
Gotcha.
And the article mentions something called psychometric forensics.
Psychometric. What now?
Forensics, it's analyzing patterns in your answers. Like if you answer really hard questions super fast.
It might mean you saw them beforehand.
Precisely. Suggests prior access.
Interesting. Then there's the seemingly harmless water or bathroom break. I wouldn't immediately think of that as cheating time.
Me neither, but the article points out it's a quick window, right? A chance to grab a phone, check some notes.
Okay, I can see that.
It's tricky, though, because schools need to allow for genuine needs, but also maintain security.
So what's the solution? No breaks ever? That seems rough.
Probably not practical. The article suggests really clear, strict policies.
Like?
Maybe scheduled breaks, timed breaks, perhaps only between sections of a long test so you can't look up answers for parts you've already done.
Okay, structured breaks. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Another method? Help from family, experts, and friends. Getting someone else involved.
Yeah, seems straightforward, right? Having someone in the room feeding you answers.
Or maybe even hiring someone.
Exactly. Hiring online tutors to help during the exam or even take the whole thing. The article notes demand for online tutors went up. Could be related.
So how do you stop someone else just logging in as you, or someone whispering answers off camera?
This is where strong authentication is vital.
Back to biometrics.
Yeah, biometrics, maybe two-factor authentication, really locking down who is taking the test.
And the other tools.
Lockdown browsers, again, stopping remote desktop stuff, and AI flagging for suspicious activity that might hint someone else is involved.
Right. Okay, finally, the one that seems most obvious today. Googling or ChatGPTing the answers.
The temptation must be huge, right? All that info there.
Absolutely.
And the article acknowledges that, yeah, easy access to info is a clear opportunity, but it also says this is one of the methods that's actually kind of straightforward to block with the right tools.
Really? How so?
Well, lockdown browsers are number one. Block search engines, block other websites. Simple as that, mostly.
Okay.
Proctoring services, human or AI, are watching for attempts to use phones or other devices.
Right.
And just a basic rule. No phones allowed at your desk during the exam. Pretty effective.
It's just fascinating seeing this constant back and forth, isn't it? The cheating methods evolve, the countermeasures evolve.
It's a real cat and mouse game.
The article also had that section with tips for students, which I thought was a nice touch. Kind of completes the picture.
Yeah, it was useful. Practical stuff, Read the handbook, do practice tests.
Make sure your tech works before the exam starts.
Totally. Download software early, do system checks, know the rules, get your space ready, have water nearby.
And maybe actually study.
Well, yeah, that too. Ultimately, the best tip.
So, wrapping up this deep dive, what are the main takeaways? What should you, listening, really remember from all this?
I think the big thing is that online cheating isn't simple. It's complex. It's constantly changing.
On both sides.
Exactly. Students get creative, and the tech and policies try to keep up. Things like remote proctoring, lockdown browsers, they're clearly super important
Oh,
tools.
it's not just tech, right?
No, definitely not. Clear rules from the institutions, making sure students actually understand the expectations, that's just as crucial.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, a final thought for you, the listener. In this digital world, how do we protect the real value of academic achievement?
Yeah, and as the tech keeps getting smarter, where's that balance between security and, a positive learning environment that doesn't feel like a prison?
And what's everyone's role in this? Students, teachers, the schools themselves? What responsibility do we all share to keep education meaningful in this changing landscape?
Mm-hmm. This deep dive hopefully gives you a good foundation for thinking about all that. It's a complex issue where tech and education meet.
And it's definitely not standing still.
Not at all. It'll keep evolving, keep presenting new questions.